The question is, should you stay here?
To infinity and beyond.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're here at Coronado Springs. Behind me is the Grandestino Tower. And then also on the other side of me are a bunch of these smaller rooms. I'd like to compare this resort to the Caribbean Beach Resort as well as Riviera. Riviera would be the tower in this situation. But let's get into the check-in, which is at Grandestino Tower. As we're walking over to the lobby, I'd like to mention that they do have meeting rooms here because this is the most popular resort for conventions. So if there's a convention in Disney World or someone's going to be hosting a convention, it's most probably going to be hosted at Coronado Springs. This area here is the lobby. They have many different places for you to work remotely, which I think makes this such a popular destination spot for not only remote workers, but people that are doing conventions here. And then over on the other side is where you actually check in. We've already checked in today, just trying to give you guys an idea as to where to go for this type of thing. And here is the map. As you can see, Coronado Springs is a massive resort, and the Grandestino Tower, which is where we're at, is right here. And you actually have 4 different bus stops across the entirety of the resort. So that's one thing I'd like to note. If you love transportation like monorail, Skyliners, this is not where you're gonna have this type of experience. If you're okay with being on a bus and you wanna have the nice view, you could definitely stay at Coronado Springs. There's just not any other transportation outside of buses here. Next thing we're gonna check out is the Barcelona Lounge, which is underneath the lobby. This is a lot more adult themed rather than children themed, and they have a menu posted above their drink cooler on the right hand side of the bar. The Grandestino Tower, which we just came out of, was an extension or an addition to the building after it was first built. So Coronado Springs originally had a lobby on a different section of the building, pretty close, just a couple steps away. So we're gonna go check out what the former lobby looked like, which now is in direct connection to a bunch of the rooms for the conventions that people host here. And this is the original lobby for Coronado Springs Resort. As you can see, they have a lot of remote working stations to the left-hand side here, and then a lounge area on the right. And then they still have a gift shop over here, straight past this beautiful fountain. So again, left side of the fountain is the gift store, and the right side is the convention center and has the restaurants. So they have 2 different types of restaurants down this hall, which we're gonna go check out in a minute. But let's go take a look inside the gift store and see what they have. Ooh, they have these beautiful Disney's Coronado Springs mugs. So if you're a coffee drinker, you may need to pick this one up. On the back side, it has a Mickey Coronado Spring themed. On the right hand side, we have these Disney Coronado Springs women's shirt. Nothing on the back, just the front. They have a nice Coronado Springs themed tote with a nice little branded emblem on it that's stitched on. And then, of course, you know, Disney has the Christmas ornaments. So they have a Coronado Springs Christmas ornament, and apparently it lights up. And lastly, they have a Coronado Springs cup with a ginormous picture of the Grandestino Tower. And then it looks like this would typically be a quarter zip, but it zips halfway, so we're gonna call this a half zip. And it has a stitched Disney's Coronado Springs Resort logo and nothing on the back. And they also have a polo shirt for anyone that wants something short sleeve. It's $110. Disney's Coronado Springs stitched on and nothing on the back. After we checked in at the lobby, we headed over to our room, and I already have that video, so I'm gonna play it right now and go over what the room was like. The room was pretty spacious. We typically stay at value resorts like Pop Century, All-Star, so this room was about 2 times the size. It came with 2 queen size beds, and then my favorite part is it came with 2 sinks. Normally you're stuck with 1 sink, and if you have 2 adults, 1 sink is not enough because while Allie's getting ready, I'm not able to use the sink, and while I'm getting ready, she's not able to use the sink. So having those 2 sinks really makes the experience so much better at this type of resort. And the Minot resorts are about $50 to $75 more per night. Now that we've wrapped up at the gift shop, we're gonna head in and check out the restaurants. The first one is a sports bar and grill called Rick's. So in the back side, before getting into the convention center, they have 2 different sides. On the left, they have the Rick's Sports Bar and Grill. I'll put a virtual menu on that, or whenever you're here, you can see what they have on their menu currently in the front of the building. On the right-hand side, they have the El Mercado de Coronado, and the hours of operation may change, but right now you can get breakfast, lunch, and dinner there, and then they also have grab and goes. I'll put a virtual attachment of their current menu on the screen, but this is where Allie and I ate last night. And then in between the 2 restaurants, there is this massive convention center. We're not gonna go back there just because we're not here for a convention, and it's pretty boring unless there's a convention you're here for. So we're gonna go back outside and show you the rest of the things to do at Coronado Springs. So now we're walking over to the Destino Plaza, and they just have these nice little lounge chairs facing the water, and then there is a restaurant in the middle of the lake. It's just beautiful out here. Also in Destino Plaza, they have this ginormous field for the kids to play in, and then some lounge chairs along the backside and in the middle so the parents can watch their kids and all hang out together in a relaxed environment. Another neat thing they have here is they have a running or walking trail. So as you can see, if it is the red line, then it equals a whole mile around. Or you could do the dotted line for 3/4 of a mile, and you're not going all the way around, but you're going a majority of the way around. Now we're walking onto the bridge that connects the outsides of the resorts together, and then in the middle is a restaurant. And I know that at the beginning of the video I was comparing Caribbean Beach to Coronado Springs, and I think the 2 major differences are, you know, you have this bridge that we're walking on that connects all the resorts together. You don't have to walk all the way around to get the transportation like the Skyliner at Caribbean Beach. But the only downside is again, the Skyliners. You have the Skyliners at Caribbean Beach, whereas you only have buses here. And if you're okay with being on a bus with those 4 stops, and honestly, it's just a couple-minute walk to our bus stop. So if you're okay with sitting on a bus that makes multiple stops around the resort, Coronado Springs may be a better option for you than Caribbean Beach. So we're gonna stop at the breaking point and grab some dinner at this nice little restaurant. We looked at the menu last night and decided it would be a great place to stop today. So this is the 3 Bridges Bar and Grill. As you can see, they have many different entrees and appetizers, and then just about 4 desserts. And we have this beautiful view at our table. So I ordered the steak frites, and it came with this special paprika sauce. Cannot wait for the food to come out. I am so hungry. Allie got the mahi and shrimp curry. Looks pretty good over there. And then I got the steak frites. Has some paprika fries. Of course, the steak and a little salad on the side. Looking forward to trying this one out. The first thing we're gonna try is the steak, and it came with a butter knife, so I have to switch over to the steak knife. But we're gonna try this steak real quick, cutting a little piece. I asked for it to be cooked medium. I wasn't 100% sure as to how this dish was gonna be, so that's why I ordered medium, but I'm gonna dip it in that special sauce they gave me a little while ago. It is so delicious.
Yeah?
Tastes really good. The only thing I'd say about the sauce is I'm not a horseradish person, but with growing up with Polish relatives, they love horseradish. And if they had some horseradish in there, there'd be a little bit of a kick in there, and it'd be a perfect sauce for this dish. Now that we've wrapped up dinner, I'm going to pass the microphone over to Allie so we can ask her a quick question. And that question is, what is your favorite part about this resort?
I think so far about this resort, I really love the layout. So if you're going to have a really massive hotel, I love how beautiful and how much time and thought was really put into every single little detail of this place, whether or not it's our hotel room, or if it's the children's play area, or if it's just lounging and hanging out by the pool, sorry, not the pool, but the water, etc. We both have talked over and over again about how much we could just stay here for a whole week, and that's saying a lot for us. We're just 2-3 days max kind of people, and we're out of here. So I really loved this whole resort, and I could just stay here for a long time.
So there's one last thing I wanted to show you guys, and it is called the dig site. It's basically the big pool, like the hub pool, because they have a bunch of mini pools around the resort, but the dig site is the major pool, and it is a really cool, beautiful pyramid in the middle for everyone to be able to see from all around the resort. So let's go check it out. When you first enter the dig site, on the left hand side you have a little beach volleyball court. It's pretty nice. And on the right hand side you have a hot tub, and then after that it is the pyramid with the pool. If you got the kiddos, this is a cool little spot to bring them, to let them cool off during like a midday break or an evening break before going back into the park. And then another thing, at the very back of the dig site is like a little playground area for the kiddos, and then around that same area there's an arcade. So there's a lot of different cool things for kids to do during the break. So at the end of the day, if you enjoy a relaxing experience, not worried about taking Skyliners, monorails, and you're okay with riding buses, this is definitely a resort for you. It's not too expensive, and the rooms are extremely spacious. We're able to fit our stroller in there, but if we had a scooter and strollers, we could probably fit about 2 scooters and a stroller inside of our room. And remember, a big plus is you get 2 sinks. So if you have 2 adults in the room and they're both getting ready in the morning or evening, you can both do so at the same exact time and not fight over the sink. So those are the major key points that I think are important when staying at a resort, but let me know if you'd stay here.